Yo, what's up? It's your boy E.T. Welcome to another edition of Mass Impact, the educational podcast. Now, look, the reason why I started this, I truly believe that education is the way to close the gap, the wealth gap, the digital divide gap, the opportunity gap. Look, the American dream gap. Can I be honest? Everybody's not experiencing the American dream in the way it's supposed to be experienced. So the reason why we started the Mass Impact, the educational podcast, is to close that gap. Now look, mass is simple. It means motivate, actionable steps, which means what? We're going to give you strategies every week. So we're not just going to motivate you and inspire you, which is important, but we're going to give you actionable steps. And look, it's a support system, y'all. Thus Mass. It's your boy E.T. Now you know. Let's go.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy E.T. Hey, super excited, man. We are physically in the school year. You know, it's different when we do this podcast in the summer, you know, or let me just say when I'm not actively engaged, you know, in the building, you know, but it's a different energy when you're in the building, when you have to take these principles and apply these principles to real life. Hey, this is where I always feel like this is important, mass impact, because we're doing both the theory and the practice. A lot of people just doing the theory, but it hit different. Theory hit different when you're in the field. Let me just say that to you. When you're in the field, it got a whole different. When you're in the lab, when you're in the laboratory, theory look one way. But when you got to take that theory and put it in the field, it's an entirely different experience. And so that's what we're about. We're about motivation, absolutely, but we're about that action, right? Because that action is what gets outcomes. And then more importantly, even after the action, you need the ice. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that therapy after the game is over, right? And that's that support system. So super excited to be with you guys today. Katie, tell us what we're gonna talk about. Hey, y'all forgive me for a quick second, because I'm noticing I didn't turn my lights on. You gotta turn the light on. So Katie, while you telling them what we're talking about today, I'm gonna turn the light on.
Perfect. All right. We have been talking about teacher effectiveness. So increasing teacher effectiveness, knowing that we are talking right now, I'm sure, to so many educators that are already highly effective, and we love you and see you, but we're looking to increase our effectiveness no matter where we are. So we're going to chat about teacher or educator collaboration today. How do we collaborate as educators to increase our effectiveness, to make the biggest impact for our kids?
Good. I like that. I always, guys, you know, like to pull the first thing comes to my mind. I just feel like, you know, the more transparent we are, the greater chance we have of getting outcomes. So the first image I saw was Dennis Rodman, right? It's the first image I saw. I saw Dennis Rodman in Detroit. I saw Dennis Rodman in Chicago, you know, and I saw a person who understood the power of collaboration, right? Who understood that you don't have to have the dominant necessary skills, or you don't have to have the dominant role to be effective. And I think there are a couple of challenges that I see here. First, I see that a lot of us believe that the individual is responsible for really what the collective is responsible for. So a lot of us as educators, we have this, you know, superhero complex where we really believe that we, in our knowledge and our abilities, are responsible for saving kids. I don't even think it's an ego with a lot of people. To be honest, Von I don't think it's an ego. Now, some people it is the ego. But with some people, I really think they have a savior's mentality. And they really believe that they're that dope, they that smart, where they're going to win a championship by themselves. And I always say this to you guys. The 63-point Jordan lost to the Boston Celtics. The 63-point Jordan, he lost to the Boston Celtics. The Jordan that understood that he is a priority, but he cannot solve the problem by himself, that Jordan won 6 titles. And so I think it's important for me to start here. As a dominant character. I'm a very dominant character. I'm not the guy that is going to put something on somebody else's shoulder. I'm going to carry the load. But what I realize is that it's a lot easier to carry the load when you're carrying it with D Wade, when you're carrying it with Ray Allen, when you're carrying it with Chris Bosh. It's a lot easier to carry the load.
Break it down, E.
Carrying it with other Hall of Famers versus when you carrying it with the Cleveland Cavaliers by yourself. And this is why you went to multiple championships and could not win. Not because he wasn't fired, but he wasn't surrounded by people who was on his mindset. You understand? So I just think I want to start with, we do a better job helping our children when we stop going into a room in ISO, as they call it. You stop going into a room in isolation. You stop trying to solve problems in isolation. When you stop doing it by yourself. Now, I know you're tempted to do that. Why? It makes sense. You always with you. You're constantly with you. You're in your head. Like, you have the privilege to go in your head whenever you want to go in your head. As the young people say, you can go in your bag whenever you want to go in your bag. But the reality is, as soon as you go to the individual, you automatically decrease the probability of the kids being successful. So I just want y'all to understand, I'm about to pass it, and I'll come back to the Rodman in a minute here. I'm going to pass the rock. Listen to what I'm saying. As soon as you go individual, you automatically decrease the probability of those kids being successful. And doing a PD recently, I explained that there are at least 4 personalities in the room. And you go in there with your bad self, with your one personality, and you automatically are only going to be able to appeal to a certain group, and you lose that other group. So if you want to increase your success, you have to leave the individual philosophical belief in the trash, and you have to adopt the spirit of collaboration. Y'all take it from there. I'm sorry.
That's really dope. While you were talking, E, it made me think about, it's more of a church concept, just about the body, and how if there's one part of something wrong with the body, then the whole body is dysfunction. It made me think about the other day, like when I was, because I just moved out here to Houston, and I had like stuff everywhere, and I randomly, and I promise, like, I don't know how it happened, but I stubbed my toe on like the corner of like this wooden frame, and when I hit my toe, like my whole body just fell to the ground. It was just like, just from stumping my toe, and it's like, yo, like my toe has nothing to do with my back. My toe has nothing to do with anything else, but because there was this injury, even in this very small part of my body, like my whole body responded. And so like, I think that when we talk about collaboration and us as educators working together, it's like he said, it's like, you're not on an island. If something's wrong with one person on the team, if there's an injury with one person on the team, it adversely impacts the entire team. If we move forward with that, with that in mind, I think that when we talk about collaborating and the effectiveness of collaborating, it puts us in a position where we're no longer thinking like, oh, it's just me out here trying to save, trying to save the day, trying to, whatever. It's like, oh, something's going on with the toe. Let me send all the, whatever happens chemically to make sure that the pain is absolved in the toe. Let me jump in, let me help so that we can get this injury over here taken care of, so that collectively we can move forward and do what we were designed to do.
Yeah.
So good. Let me ask you guys this, because I know that I think we've got like superstar teachers that are watching this or listening to this, right? And some of them are thinking that what if the people that are their teammates are not, they don't have the same pedagogical beliefs. They don't approach teaching kids in the same way. They don't feel like, maybe they feel like they're working in a silo because they don't agree with the way the teachers around them are.
1,000%. Yeah, I want to say this. I know Vondale got something on this one, but I want to say this. You used the word superstar. You know, I have different expectations for superstars than I do for lames. Mm-hmm. I just do. If you're a superstar, I have to say this over and over again. When you are a professional, you owe you. When you are a professional, you have to look at it as if everybody around me is the weakest link, because I'm the strongest link, I bring the weakest link up. Mm-hmm. So it's like they say about Bill Gates. If Bill Gates walks into a room, the economics of the room changes because he's in the room. He just changes everything in the room. Mm-hmm. And I say this because you are the best and I hold you to a different standard. I put out videos. I've never met these people a day in my life who have taken their game to the next level based on the words that I'm saying. These people have never met me a day in their life. They've never been in my presence before. They watch me on a video and they respond on they respond to words on a video and change their lives. Mm-hmm. Why do they do it? Because as a superstar, I am speaking superstar language. I'm calling the people around me to step up. That's what I'm doing. Like, come on, step up. And when you watch Michael Jordan's The Last Dance, like you see people upset with Mike, but you see Mike saying, yo, this the culture. And what you guys have to understand is that you don't get to be a superstar alone. Now, I ain't trying to be super biblical, but too much is given, much is required. You don't get to be a superstar alone. If you are a true superstar, you must create the culture. You are responsible. Let your light so shine. That's what he said. Don't hide it under a bush. Oh, no. I'm going to let it shine. So your responsibility as a light is not to take your light in a corner somewhere so you can read. You're supposed to let your light shine so that people who have a light, who are shrinking, can know, oh, I don't have to shrink. I'm not shrinking. Who told me to shrink? I'm not shrinking. And people who've dimmed their lights to go, hey, man, you better cut your light on. Or people who've been hurt and got their light, whatever, you're supposed to take your light and put it on there and then let them, and then the light is lighted. So I just wanted to take responsibility before Vondell speak. I'll put it on me. You know what I'm saying? You can put it on ET of why this podcast is so aggressive. You can put it on me. But here's what I'm telling you. I told a group of men just this week who were complaining about their marriage, do me a favor. Either talk about the solution or go. But don't stay in it talking about it in the negative. You change the culture of your marriage. But don't come to me complaining. What do you want me to do? Go, you're absolutely right. Marriage is garbage. That's what you want me to say? That's what you want me to say? You want me to talk bad about the institution of marriage? You want me to talk bad about the institution of education? I'm not about to do it. What I'm about to tell you is go figure it out. Go figure it out. It's a solution to it. Let's go figure it out. So I'm saying LaShawna tell you, we've been having some major conversations. And we're having major conversations because I do believe she's a superstar. And we do have some challenges in the company. And so I'm going to my superstar saying, yo, I'm not angry, but you're a superstar. We lost 5 games in a row by 3 points. I know we got 2 more baskets in us. What is it going? Do we need to set some blocks, some screens? Like, just tell me what we need to do. But I know y'all superstars. So get out there and play like superstars. So I think we need to hold superstars accountable. We need to set superstars loose to be superstars as coach, as let them loose. So if you're watching and you're a superstar, yo, do me a favor. Go create a superstar culture, not just a superstar classroom.
Yeah.
That's dope. Hey, E, you already got me pumped with the Bulls analogy. So let's stay there for one.
I know what to do.
Let's stay there for 1 second. Y'all see I got my Champs Bulls. We just did a big activation with the whole Bulls team, and all of the players got these and wearing these. And the concept that I want everybody to understand is, it's like the quote: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So Mike, he put up the 63 points against the Celtics, but we lost the series. And it wasn't until he got a system, which was the triangle system, where he started to learn equal opportunity. And he wasn't sold on it at first. Mike was like, no, man, I'm leading the league in scoring. Phil Jackson asked him one question: do you want to win a championship? So again, what's the target? What are the goals? You know, if we getting evaluated, what are the goals? Is it just for your classroom?
Right.
You know, to have all of your students pass the test, the state test, or is it for the school to produce results? So the end goal for Michael Jordan wasn't just to win scoring titles. That was great. But the end goal was for Michael Jordan to be elite and win championships. And so Phil Jackson gave him a system. And so I think everybody needs to have a coach that believes in your potential. Like E.T. just talked about it from a team dynamic, right? You got the superstars here, but a lot of weight is on the superstars to share their stardom with other role players, to bring out Sean and John Paxson, to make sure Scottie Pippen was able to get through his mental block, right? Because we know what happened with the Pistons series. He got the headache, didn't want to go back in the game. We lost that series. So we were able to say, okay, here are all of the evaluations and observations, and these are the good and the bad with the team. And what do? We say, all right, the end goal is for the entire school to produce results. And I think everybody has that responsibility and role, even the superstar. So even with your greatness, you still have a responsibility to uplift everybody else. And I think it's easier said than done. And I know it gets frustrating because you just like, but they coming in late and they not following through and they not going the extra mile and they not staying as long as me. It's easy to do that. But again, how can we, produce results across the team and ultimately across the school?
Yeah. Look, I got to say this before we get to the next one, because this happened at the school we were just at. And I would normally say the school, but the lady may not want me to, she may not want me to reveal who she is. They might be able to narrow it down. She said something that I thought, to answer Katie, she said something I thought was dope. She says, as an educator, I look at school as a good divorce. I love it. I said, I love it. I love it. She said, me and my husband, and I don't think she's divorced, but she was saying, in the school setting, she's like, yo, me and my husband, we couldn't necessarily make it work, but we make our relationship work for the sake of our children. So she said, this is a bad marriage. I'm at this school. This is a bad marriage. I'm not necessarily excited about everybody that I have to work with, but I work with them and make it work because we've had children together. We had children together. We created a wonderful thing called children. And because we want the best for our children, we're going to get over our differences. And we're not going to get angry and get mad and be going off on each other we will find a way to work together, not for our sake, but for the sake of these kids. These kids are not going to see us angry. They're not going to see us fighting. We're going to bring our resources together. We'll figure out how to go to the events together. We will do whatever it takes. I said, unbelievable. I absolutely love it because it's the truth. It's the truth. Everybody that work together don't like each other. Yeah. Everybody that's in the school system, there are teachers that don't like each other. There are teachers that don't like some of the administrators. It ain't no kumbaya. Everybody's not in love with each other. But to your point, Vondell, they have a common interest, and that's those children. Yes. So at the end of the day, you get over your personal pet peeves, your personal whatever, and you go, I'll do whatever it takes. And I was having a conversation with Train and Katie, and I was like, listen to me, guys. I don't care if people think I'm the best thing since sliced bread. It don't move me. I don't care if you think I'm the worst thing that ever happened to mankind. It doesn't move me.
That's good.
What moves me? What you paid me to do, the outcomes. I'm not focusing on the cheer or the crowd. Because some people get caught up on the cheer and stop doing their work because they looking and going, hey, look, you're cheering for me. And you take your eyes off the game because, and I know the experience. My son played Grand Ledge football. He had gotten a fumble once. I went off on this boy so bad, Vondell. He got the fumble, could have scored a touchdown. he got tackled because when he got the fumble, he looked over at me to see if I saw him get the fumble. I'm like, son, you're in the game. I'm here. Don't worry about that. I'm physically in the building. Just play the game, son. We could talk about the fumble. It could have been a fumble, recovery, and touchdown had you not. So I'm not the guy that goes, close the haters out. Close everybody out. Close everybody out. Don't let the good or the bad distract you. What's the goal? The goal is to increase reading scores. What does that take? If I got to get on TikTok, okay, let's get on TikTok. I got to get on Instagram. Let's get on it. Whatever it takes to get their reading comprehension up, to become critical thinkers, whatever it takes to keep them from getting shot and killed. We're on our way to Dubai. Somebody was like, Dubai? Eric, somebody just told me the other day, Eric, you stupid. I said, why you say that? You told the kids last 3 years gonna give them $1,000, at Michigan State to do well their first semester. That didn't cost you. Only 6 kids did it. But this year you said 2,000. Do you understand? We probably gonna have 20-some thousand kids. You messed up. I said, messed up. If I help a kid for $2,000 to get his freshman year tight, and the worst year of his life is his freshman year, if I get him or her on track their freshman year for $2,000, and they get to have a successful life, and they marriage and they kid, they get off to a great start and have a great, they graduate in 4 years and move on. I said, you got beat with that mentality, because for me, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to do what I said. When I vow to be an educator and I'm gonna get kids across that stage and I'll do whatever it takes. You the one that's messed up. So I love when she said, some of these teachers, it's like a bad marriage. But I'm here every day because I love these kids. And I'm going to get along with these administrators because these kids are not going to see me fighting with these people. These kids are going to see me do whatever it takes to help them to be successful. I was like, phenomenal. Now, I wouldn't work there, but beautiful concept, though.
Yeah. I have a question I want to present to the panel about that, because I'm truly enthralled. But do you think that there are aspects of culture today, progressive culture, that gets in the way of us being able to collaborate as a team? Because even what you mentioned in terms of, the couple staying together for the sake of the kids, that's true collaboration. But there are aspects of culture that says, no, if you're unhappy, divorce them. You don't do it for the kids. You need a happier you, right? So I think that.
Well, I don't think she said she was going to stay in the marriage. She just said she's not going to let divorce stop her from being a blessing. Them collaborating to be a blessing to those kids.
Okay. No, that's cool. But even with that, that's the construct. But even with that, though, do you not agree that there are aspects of society that teaches you, it's that whole do what's best for you and do this for you, take care of you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care of you and that there are times when you should do what's best for you. But I think that there's this enlarged emphasis on you, that when we are in a situation where we're with an us or a we don't know how to interact anymore, because we're being taught it's all about you.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. LaShawn, I think you bring up a good point. And just as you were talking, it's as an educator in a school building, as a school leader, we should be setting common goals, right? Let's go, y'all. This is our goal for the year. And we're constantly revisiting that goal because that helps with accountability and help us reach the outcomes we're all striving for. And so I think often it's always the thought process should be, right, is this what's best for kids? Is this what's best for kids in service of our goal, right? Is this what's best for kids in service of our goal? And so to your point, LaShawn, that, I think as educators, we're often told to be selfless. Is this what's best for kids? Not for me, right? Is this what's best for kids? Not for me. But I also think that you have to, at the end of the day, the outcomes that we're striving for, right, are for kids. And so is it best for kids that you come on a day that you are just out of it and you can't be your best self, right? It's best for kids for you to take the mental health day, right? So I think that a lot of times we're thinking one way or the other, right? Just maybe me, or just about the kids, and looping those back together.
Yes.
in service of the common goal that we're all striving for, for the school year. And I think like around that whole spirit of collaboration, like I actually feel like really blessed that I was a special education teacher. And so I co-taught all the time. Like every year I had different co-teachers. Sometimes I had 3 or 4 co-teachers, right? And so for me as an educator, I did have to navigate different personalities, different teaching pedagogy. But at the end of the day, like my teaching pedagogy and who I am and was as a teacher was literally the result of learning from so many other educators. And I really think like co-teaching was one of the best things for me as a teacher. And going back to E's point is that how many different personalities of teachers do we have, right? How many different strengths? And so having like 2 teachers in the room for me, like we were so powerful, got the best results, when those things happened. And so anyways, it just takes me back of like walking into that school building, beginning the year, setting that common goal and making sure that we're asking ourselves, is this what's best for kids in service of our goals?
Love it.
I love it. Yeah, I think part of it is like the humility of like, I don't know all the answers. I need to learn from my colleagues too, right? And all of us have to like pause and remember to do that. And there's so much power in that. And then I'm sure, Sam, like those people you co-taught with, you probably still have relationships with, right? You like really get in the thick of helping serve kids. You build relationships and then you can make a larger impact like long term too. So my actually second year teaching, so long time ago, my mentor that was assigned to me was phenomenal. And I just was like, I was asking people to cover for my classroom sometimes so I could sit in her classroom and watch and learn from her, So sometimes you have to go out of the way to ask for more opportunities for collaboration too. But, I was able to build this long-term relationship where I could learn from her for so long. And she's like doing the same thing and learning from me and some of the different things that I've done in education now too. So you actually just got to meet her because she came to one of our schools in Lansing so that she could watch and see what the work that we're doing. But she was actually my mentor teaching me like 15 years ago. So, there's this collaboration that when you start learning from each other can make this big long-term impact that maybe you don't even see right away. That is really exciting and helps us to do what is best for kids, big picture.
Yeah, I think an unspoken reality for educators that we need to address, the elephant in the room before we're going to be able to collaborate, is that somehow this culture teaches us to be a great educator, you got to be a know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? Like educators are probably the only people in the world that's supposed to know everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like more than a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like educators supposed to know, like they go on Jeopardy, you're supposed to know every category. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the truth. And I think one of the challenges that we face is we buy into that ego. And I feel like I'm one of the best speakers in the world, not because of the language that I use. I don't even know if it's the oratorical skills, right? If you listen to the podcast, CJ will correct my vocabulary all the time. I think it is the transparency of I'm human and I don't have no problems with it.
Yeah.
And most humans are drawn to that because they want to be that, but they're not that. Most humans have this need to feel like I got it going on in every area. I don't make no mistakes. I'm whatever. And I believe that is powerful when you realize. I'm gonna tell y'all, this is not the homeless humbled me. Okay, it's a couple of things that humbled me. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you as an educator, one of the things that humbled me. When I graduated from Michigan State is a very large institution. There's about 50,000 students when I was there. One of the things that humbled me is when you graduate from Michigan State, you graduate to Breslin. And when you graduate to Breslin, it's a sea of folks graduate. It's like a sea. You got 4-year master's, PhD. It's a sea of folks. And you sit there and look at all of those degrees and realize how much you really don't know. I was sitting there like, bruh, you got the College of Engineering, you got the College of, you got some music, I was sitting there like, wow, there's a lot of Then when you get to your own college, it's divided. So it's not even like in your college, all y'all did the same thing. You got K through 12, you got Hale, you got Ed at Men. And I sat there humbled, like, Look how much I don't know. And so I think when we go into it, like I know everything, then you don't ask for help because you know everything. And then now you got to put up this facade because you act like you know everything. Now you got to know everything, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know everything. And so now resources that are available to you, you can't get those resources. So I'm Dennis Rodman. I'm going, I don't need to be Michael Jordan. Look like he's doing a phenomenal job at being Michael Jordan. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is get rebounds so he can be more Michael Jordan.
There you go.
So I'm just going to get the rebound and give it to my man. I'm not even going to try to shoot. And some of you are trying to shoot when you don't shoot because you're trying to pretend you Michael Jordan and you not.
That's good.
And it's okay that you're not Michael Jordan. It's okay. Just be the best Dennis Rodman you can be. And humility. Mike leaves. Scotty thinks he's Michael Jordan. Scotty thinks he's Michael Jordan because he shared in the Michael Jordan experience. And so Jordan leaves and Scotty becomes Mike and the Bulls don't go to a championship. And quiet as kept, Scotty leaves and goes to different teams and never wins a championship. Why? Because you were only good or you were only great in that context because you collaborated. And we've got to learn, I don't walk around here trying to act like I'm the brains of the operation. That's CJ. I'm not even interested in trying to act like I'm that smart. I'm not Carl. I don't go in the laboratory like Carl goes in it, but I got a mouth that's out of this world. CJ, you set it up. Carl, you memorialize it. We're going to kill the game. We from Lansing, y'all. I think people miss that we the number one in the world from Lansing. We're not in LA. We're not in Chicago. We're not in New York. But it's three men. Then LaShawna came for the sake of not getting sued or making sure people pay us what they say. Because I ain't care if you paid me or not. I didn't come to get paid. I came to do the work. I came to do what I was called to do. So I don't even, listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't even know if people give me my check or not. I don't never know. Why? Because I don't do that. I show up, and when the people come in and sit down in them seats, it's showtime. It's showtime. I'm gonna put up the points I said I was gonna put up. I'm never gonna have a day where it's like, I didn't bring my best game. So a lot of you are messing up because you can't humble yourself and go, I am one of 500 that's graduating. I'm not the be all do all. I play a significant role in the context of collaboration. But you take me off the squad, I'm no good. In the squad, I'm phenomenal. And I'm telling y'all, if we could get to that, then we can get to school and go, hey, who plays what role? Now activate. Now, I'm not the diplomatic dude. If y'all need diplomacy, you better send somebody else in. I don't do the diplomacy, boy. By the time I come in, if I gotta come in, we blowing up spot. We dropping bombs when I come in. If you want the diplomacy, boy, you call Carl. Let Carl go in there and listen and do all of the stuff he got to come back and bring. I don't do that. So when it comes to diplomacy, I don't go, I'm the CEO of this company. I need to be in the meeting. I go, if that's diplomacy, I'm gonna sit outside. Hey, Carl, I had your lunch ready. When you come, what do you want? Water for the meeting? What do you need? I give you what you need. When you come out, I'll hug you, whatever you need. So I'm just saying, for those of you who are listening, are you dope? 1,000%. Are you dope enough to help a whole school? You're not. You're not. Are you dope enough to bring the school to another level by yourself? Absolutely not. But with that group, you guys as a collective, there's nothing you can't do because you're the professionals and they're students. And you got educated. I will say this last, and I said this at the school system we just left. And you may take offense to it. If you're gonna be a superstar, be a superstar. If you're gonna complain and you're not gonna add to the culture, please leave. Please leave. Exit stage left. Please leave.
You know what? When you said that, then the nods in the room, people agreed. The teachers were all like,
Just go. I'm just saying, just go. Just leave. But I respect the men and women of 9/11 so much because they made a vow unto death. They made a vow. They didn't go, oh, the bomb, the building just got turned up. The building's collapsing. People are jumping out. I got 4 weeks left to retire. I ain't going in there. They went, this is what I signed up for. When I did my vow, boy, I signed up to go in when everybody else is going out. That's what I signed up for. It's over. I was talking to CJ about the movie 300, and there's a scene where he kissed his wife. And when he kissed his wife, you could see he was like, goodbye, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 300 of us. We about to go fight a whole army. I'm the leader of the 300. Give me a kiss. This the last one. And we were like, it wasn't even him kissing her and leaving. That was, you could see her like, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could see her going, even though this is my husband and I love my husband and I wish he could raise our children, this is what he vowed to do. So I honor the fact that he about to go lose his life to potentially protect our name. And I'm saying as educators, I'm so passionate because I'm all in. That's why I'm so passionate. I'm not half in, half out. I'm 1,000% in. I'm 1,000% an educator. And to Sam's point, I actually left so I could do more. I didn't leave because I was bitter or I was angry. I left because I realized I could do more. I yoked up with Vondell because I was like, yo, Vondell out here killing it. I'm out here killing it. Oh, we could do better together. I'm like, oh, Sam out here. Oh, they going to Costa Rica. Oh, come do Dubai with us too. Oh, okay. Then we gonna do Africa. Oh, you doing that? Oh, come on, let's bring it together. You got that. I got this part. Oh, we can help way more kids. They can go all over. We can put them all over the world. We can send them to Africa. I got influence. I got income. You done made up some stuff. They now doing entrepreneurship. I'm like, let us. So for those of you who are watching us, this ain't theory.
Yeah.
We're actually doing what we're telling you to do. We've done past tense. We've done it. ING. We're doing it. And Vondell and I can do a whole podcast on how us collabing, we can now show you a tree of people that are friends.
Come on.
That are now each other's friends, that are now doing business together and are now helping each other.
Yes, sir. Because
of our collab, all of the people that are our friends are now collab. And we doing some side stuff to make stuff. So I'm just telling y'all, man, sit your ego to the side. If you want to hear me tell you dope, you are. You are absolutely dope. But if you want to be doper, surround yourself with a dream team. Magic, Larry Bird, Jordan, Pippen, the mailman, Stockton, Charles Barkley. You think you dope by yourself? Wait till the dream team comes together. You guys will be able to do way, way more as a dream team than you will as an individual. So it's your boy E.T. This has been Mass Impact. This has been Mass Impact. Hopefully you'll take one concept. Could be hard to swallow, but it's okay. My grandma said, I'm not giving you grape or cherry flavor. You're not getting that. You're getting this castor oil straight. You're getting it straight, okay? And if you may not like how it tastes, but what this castor oil about to do for your body, you about to be able to go back outside and play. And so we're not here just to make you feel good. We're literally here to move the needle in our educational institutions. And if we do that, then we've done our job. All right, we'll see you guys next week. B, take it away, Coach B. Take it away, Coach B. We'll see you guys next week.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Mass Impact, the Education Podcast. Now, on today's episode, we were talking all about educator collaboration. So how do educators work together to level up our educator effectiveness without experiencing burnout, by the way? Because when you try and do everything yourself, if any of you have ever tried it, and I think we probably all have, it will lead to burnout so fast. So how can we collaborate with other educators to get a better outcome more efficiently. Well, ET talked about Dennis Rodman and some of the other top tier players who were able to strike this balance between not necessarily needing to be in the most dominant position, but still contributing so much to the team that they were a critical part of the team's success. We've got to start putting ourselves in this mindset and this mentality of education is a team sport. It's us, it is the other educators, the other teachers, it's the staff, the superintendents, it's the parents, it's the child. Everybody is on this educational team, all working towards the same goal, helping those students get the best possible classroom outcomes and life outcomes as we possibly can. And if some of us are more effective in different roles that maybe don't require us to be right up front in the action all the time, then that's okay. Vondale reminded us to keep in mind the end goal, to have our entire schools be successful. And when we work as a team and we don't get frustrated by the internal politics and this person did that and this person said that, and we don't get frustrated with staff members, but we lift each other up, even amongst disagreements, even amongst differences, we lift each other up, that can be what ultimately produces results, right? I remember when I first started working for ET, we had this company called Extreme Teachers, and we would go do professional development sessions at different schools across the country, which, by the way, if you're interested in something like that, you need to go to Access EDU, talk to Katie. All the people here at Mass Impact would be happy to come visit your school. But nonetheless, we were doing teacher professional developments, teacher PDs, and the person that I was doing them with, her name is Auntie Val, Valari Humphrey. Some of you may remember her from podcasts past, but she was one of the most natural, most effective salespeople I've ever seen in my entire life. This woman can sell ice to an Eskimo, sand to a beach, and she could sell a car to a blind man. She was unbelievable when it came to those interpersonal dynamics of persuasion, right? Now, I'm not necessarily wired that way. I've learned to become a lot more sociable and energetic from doing things like this and interacting with all of you, but I'm not naturally wired that way. I'm naturally much more reserved, laid back, a little bit slower. I try and think very strategically, right? And so when we would go into these PDs, she would always be the one who would sell. She would be the one who would talk to the superintendent. She would be the one to talk to everybody about what the program was, how we can help, and all the benefits that would come to their school from going through the program. And she was the one that got on the sales calls, on the phone, to talk to anybody who was interested in the program. Now, I was much more in the background. I was designing the slides. I was designing the flow and the layout of the program, designing some of the content. And it was perfect. For what we were doing, it was absolutely perfect. And here's why. I didn't try and do what I wasn't good at. And she didn't try and do what didn't come naturally to her either. She was much more spontaneous, much more energetic, much less structured. So she let me do the structured stuff. For me, I was much more structured and much less sociable. So I let her do the social stuff. Okay. What am I trying to tell you from this little story? It's that when we all play our role, when we get the right people on the right seats on the bus, that thing can go all the way to the finish line. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching another episode of Mass Impact, the Education Podcast. And until next time, make sure that you got the right people on the right seats on your school's bus.